Let's get started with day 5. When we open it, we see that it is a Google form. There are 3 different sections. The first section just wants to know what your first and last name is, so please enter that. Then we're going to be doing the circulatory station first. We'll be doing 2 stations total today. It says start by putting your finger to your opposite wrist and count how many times you feel it beat in 15 seconds. Record how many times you felt it beat in that 15 seconds. Your next step is you're going to do 20 jumping jacks and then count again. So I'm going to pause here, do my 20 jumping jacks. Now that I'm out of breath and I've done my jacks, I'm going to count again for 15 seconds. After that 15 seconds, record how many times did it beat in those 15 seconds. Then you're going to answer what is the main function of the circulatory system and how does the circulatory system interact with other parts. Please pause and answer those questions. Next, we've got the excretory system. We have many steps for this, so we're going to have to pay close attention. Our first step says to measure 100 milliliters of sand into a 500 milliliter beaker. I don't have any beakers, but I do have these plastic cups, so I'm going to pour some sand into my plastic cup. Then I'm going to add 100 milliliters of water to the beaker with the sand. Then 10 drops of yellow food coloring into the beaker, and I'm going to stir after. 1, 2, 3. I'll try to hold it up. You can see I've got a yellow liquid on top of sand. Then it says to fill a second beaker with 200 milliliters of water. So I've got a second bowl with some water in it. The directions say to use a coffee filter. Unfortunately, I don't have any coffee filters, but I do have paper towel. So I'm going to put a paper towel on top of my clear water. And then the directions say to push in a little bit so it kind of makes a bowl. So I've got my bowl and I've pushed it in a little bit to form a bowl. Use a spoon to place 3 scoops of yellow mixture from the first beaker into the second beaker. So I'm going to do 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 3 scoops. You can see now that my filter or my paper towel is very bright yellow and the sand is on top. Using a graduated cylinder, I'm going to pour 50 milliliters of water over the yellow mixture. So I'm going to get some more water and pour it on top. So now I've got my mixture and I'm pouring just clear water on top. You're going to write down what you see. And then I'm going to grab a third beaker and fill it up with 200. Now I've got a third beaker with 200 milliliters of water. It says carefully place the filtered paper with the same sand and water mixture I just used onto the top of the third beaker. So I'm going to transfer over my filter and sand on top of my third one. Oops, that could have been really bad. Then using a graduated cylinder, I'm going to pour 50 milliliters on top. I'm just estimating with my 50 milliliters. You can do the same. Observe the contents of the third beaker and record your observations. So what did you see happen to this third beaker? Then you're going to ultimately compare the liquids in the two different beakers. Sorry, my computer's getting sassy. You're going to compare these two liquids. You'll notice that this one is pretty bright yellow. This one's light yellow. Then you're going to answer what is the main function of the excretory system and how does the excretory system interact with the other systems. When you're done, hit submit and then go through and look at what the correct answers were.